and always faster and faster.
The Jerez Grand Prix changed more than you think. And I'm going to say something that maybe is a little controversial, but right now, MotoGP without Marc Márquez racing in the Grand Prix doesn't really have a show. We went from the sprint chaos and excitement and the flag to flag to a Sunday Grand Prix that felt like a procession. Now look, Ducati, something's off with Ducati, because this is where it starts to get weird for them. The best performances from the two riders that are on their way out of the Ducati family. Álex Marquez, Grand Prix winner, 7 seconds faster than last year, and Fabio Giannantonio quietly becoming one of the most improved riders on the grid, putting it on the box in 3rd position. And then what's happening with the Lenovo Red Ducati team? On the Saturday in the sprint, they were perfect, 1st and 2nd. But on Sunday, 2 DNFs for both Marc Márquez and Mr. Go Free, Pecco Bagnaia. Now for me, that's just not a bad race. That's a Ducati Lenovo factory team failing at the time when they needed their strongest and biggest performance. So there's a couple of questions. Has Ducati hit a development ceiling? And as we've discussed many times, was that GP24 just too good? And now they've got nowhere else to go with development. Gigi Dall'Igna, has he got anything left? I expected more from Ducati this year in the aero department and especially in the braking, but it's just not there. Now look, from a rider's point of view, you've got Marc Márquez. He's got no real pressure, he's got nothing to prove. And ironically for me, that's when things start to get unpredictable. But Pecco Bagnaia, this is a bigger concern. He doesn't look angry, he doesn't look concerned, he looks flat. He hasn't bounced back from the disastrous season last year. And if you lose your edge in MotoGP, you're in huge trouble. Now, who's quietly becoming the benchmark in MotoGP for season 2026? Well, while Ducati are asking a series of questions, Aprilia are just getting on with the job. And they got on with the job fantastically well in Jerez. 4 of the top 6 places were Aprilia. That's just not a good weekend for them. This is what dominance in MotoGP starts to look like, and Aprilia are delivering. Look, they didn't panic, they didn't overreach. They took 2nd and 4th places with the factory team with Bez and Martin, and of course Agura in 5th and Raul Fernandez in finishing in 6th. Look, if Agura can qualify and start better, who knows what they're going to do. But Aprilia are building a championship and a championship year. Look, one thing for Marco Bezzecchi, those alien sunglasses that he's wearing, it doesn't make him an alien, so maybe we should just calm down on that. A little bit about David Brivio from the Trackhouse team. I just don't know about this criticism. Look, it's quite simple for me. If you're going to criticise about Agura being snatched by Yamaha, if you want him and you value him, sign the guy. Don't wait around. It seems to me that Trackhouse Aprilia look like a team waiting to see who might ride the bike instead of acting now. Speaking of now, we've got Yamaha. Speed's not their only problem, you know, on the grid. They turned up with a brand new swing arm, Fernandez riding the 5th bike, but still not enough. And look, even with penalties, Honda were doing better than them on the grid. And really, there's a problem in Yamaha, because this is where attitude speaks and makes a huge difference. Because when the bike isn't perfect, like it clearly is, the mindset of the riders becomes everything. Now, as we mentioned, HRC Honda, quiet progress. No one's really talking about Honda, but they're improving. And who improved the most on the weekend at Jerez? Johann Zarco. This guy is quietly dragging Honda to the front and forward of the race. He's qualifying in mixed conditions second. He finished 8th in the sprint and 7th in the race. And this talk about dropping him for 27 to make room, that looks absolutely ridiculous right now. And next weekend, 2 weeks I should say, Le Mans, the home race coming up, more from Zarco. KTM, well, they've got an unexpected problem. And this is a weird one because KTM have got a bit of a selection issue. Enea Bastianini, the beast, top KTM, P8, solid, smart ride. He's growing off his Austin success, putting it in Jerez. But do you think he's done too much? Do you think he's done too much that KTM will want to keep him? Because they do have an option for him for 27. Perhaps this success will stop him escaping KTM and stop him going to the rumoured Ducati Gresini. But anyway, what do you think? Let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Let's have a chat. Does Dorna and MSEG and Liberty need Marc Márquez in the mix to ensure we have a great, exciting Grand Prix? Has this race seen Ducati coming back, or are Aprilia the guys and taking over as the number one for this year? Because right now for me, it looks like the balance of power has shifted. And what do you think we'll see today? There's a test today, one of the last for the 1000cc bikes. Do you think Yamaha will turn up with a new version of the V4 engine? And of course, later this week, 2 private days of testing for the brand new 850s with the Pirelli tyres. So plenty happening off the track. Anyway, if you've liked today's episode, give us a thumbs up. If you're brand new here, welcome to the channel. Drop us a sub and you can follow along, or why not share this video around to people that are into MotoGP. Anyway, I want to say thanks for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Okay, bye for now.
And always faster and faster.